So I was going to do a get-to-know-you type video before just plunging right into the glamorous world of reviewing miscellaneous geek paraphernalia, but what I had in mind ended up being too complex and involved for my laziness. So I thought, hey, I'll just do a Kal-El Prime's Getting to Know a Transformers fan thingy instead, without having established any presence whatsoever in the fan community as a reviewer or otherwise. It has Getting to Know a Transformers fan right there in the title, though. It's just too perfect to pass up. So, here we go. Question 1. How long have you been a Transformers fan? Forever. Off and on. I kind of pulled the eject lever back in the late 80s. Not necessarily because Transformers were starting to suck, per se, although they were, but it was more that G.I. Joe, which was the other thing I was big into, was really hitting its pinnacle of coolness right around the late 80s, early 90s window. So I had to quit Transformers so I could focus more on that. Because you can't be heavy into G.I. Joe and Transformers both at once. It's what I like to call the law of conservation of Hasbro. Oh, I'm such a geek. So anyway, I wouldn't get back into Transformers in any appreciable measure for over a decade after that. Wouldn't be till the early zeros that things would stop sucking again. It was actually my sophomore year in college where I hit a critical juncture of sorts, where I had to decide if I wanted to succeed at life or collect tiny plastic robots. Easy. Robots. Question 2. What is your earliest memory of Transformers? My earliest memory is when the movie came out. All the kids in my neighborhood were just floored at the death of Optimus Prime, first of all, and also the presence of naughty words. But yeah, other than that, I can remember almost nothing about the G1 cartoon. Question 3. Who is your favorite Transformer? He put the U in there. That's so cute. I guess that would have to be a toss-up between G1 Smokescreen and Wheeljack. If for no other reason that those are two figures I'm fairly certain I actually owned myself. See, I remember having a lot of Transformers, but I'm pretty sure better than half of them weren't actually mine. The way it worked in my neighborhood, say I was heading over to my buddy Luke's house to play. I'd go over, knock on the door, and Luke would answer and say, "Hey, Caleb, nice to see you." And I would punch him in the face, and then kick him on the ground until he stopped moving, and go play with his Transformers by myself, and occasionally steal a couple. But it wasn't that I was a bully. That was the way it worked with everyone. If Luke had come over to my house, and I happened to see him through the bay window coming to the door, I'd be like, "Oh, here's Luke. I better put my mouthpiece in." So it was sort of like a hippie commune, but with greed and hostility sprinkled in for seasoning. And the funny thing is, this was a slightly upper middle class neighborhood in small town Kansas. It was a cheery neighborhood, but violent. And people were in and out of each other's houses with each other's property all day long. Question 4. What is your most prized Transformers possession? Okay, I didn't see the answer to this one coming, and I'm the one who thought it. That's how out of left field it is. The smart money would be on Masterpiece Prime and Trailer, please. But no, actually my most prized Transformers possession is this little dude, RID Prowl. Wicked car mode, and a robot mode that, despite having the top-heavy lankiness of an animated figure and the weird face of one of the movie line, is still awesome somehow, and I like it, despite my seething hatred of the other two lines I just mentioned. Also, Prowl represents for me the point at which Transformers officially stopped sucking and things became good again. Apparently somebody at Hasbro, or someone close to them, finally realized that animals are terrible and machines are great, and ne'er the twain shall meet, or at least should meet. Where in the world do you come from / live? I come from an itsy-bitsy little refinery town in the precise geographic center of the United States called Augusta, Kansas. It was this big, but it was only about a 15-minute drive from Wichita, which is the largest and most cosmopolitan city in the whole state. So congratulations, Wichita, on being the thinnest kid at fat camp. Actually, though, the Kansas half of Kansas City might be bigger, but I don't care. If it is, and you know it is, shh. Pew! Outside of Transformers, what do you do with your life? Actually, on the rare occasion that I get my BTS gear, I do write movie reviews for an online site called Mutant Reviewers from Hell. I will be plugging it shamelessly in this video and all my others. Check it out, mutantreviewers.com. Beware, there is reading involved. What is the origin of your YouTube screen name? Well, my nieces and nephews all call me Bubba, so it's a portmanteau of that and Doc Holliday's famous line from Tombstone. And yes, I know I could have just said combination and I would have been much less of a douchebag, but too late. And apparently Tombstone is in this direction. Doc Holliday's back in my closet or something. Whose videos do you enjoy watching? Basically, just Thu, aka Barutozaru, and Vangelis. I started out watching Thu, actually. In fact, he's the one who sort of inspired me to throw my hat into the nerd review ring, and then I found out about Vangelis through him. You may have noticed all the jump cuts I've been using. Thu, thanks, buddy. Thanks in advance for not getting pissed at me ripping off your style a little. I will most likely be doing it more in the future. Oh, and if you are a reviewer who is neither Thu nor Vangelis, and you're thinking, hey, you ought to be watching me, because I'm 10 times better than both of those guys. Okay, first of all, you probably aren't. But if you remain unconvinced, or convinced, whichever is grammatically appropriate, message me and bug me about it, and I'll come watch your stuff. Q9, which Transformer is your holy grail? Well, this is probably kind of an ignoble one to have as a holy grail, but Energon Optimus Prime, or Fatimus Prime if you prefer, because I have Energon Wingsaber, and he has no one to combine with. Very sad. Also, Energon Omega Supreme. Apparently, I just dropped the ball during Energon, I guess. If you could transform into anything, what would it be? Oh, so easy. I would be a six-changer that turns into a complete set of kitchen appliances. Fridge, oven with range, microwave oven, dishwasher, sink, and sexy maid. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for future reviews. I'm planning on kicking things off with Alternity Convoy. If I get any good faith subscriptions on the promise that I will actually be reviewing stuff in the future, as opposed to flaking out like I do with most things, that'd be awesome. But if you don't, that's fine too. I'll just cry a little. That's it. We're done. Go outside and play.